Cheers, everyone. Let's start with the obvious. I have my morning run, not to the gym, just morning run, but it makes you feel good. You start the day doing something that somehow you choose. You're in control. And on top of that, it's good to exercise and move. I always say to people, man, if you can move more from early morning, then your life will be better. Anyway, I wanted to start mentioning that on the last podcast, we finished with topics that we wanted to talk about parenting in martial arts and whatnot. And somehow I ended up with a controversial line topic, kind of with a mention anxiety. And I mean, I'm not a therapist here, quick disclaimer. I'm just a guy that sometimes I say maybe I grew up differently, or maybe I just grew up the same as everyone. It's just like somehow things make sense to me. I understood things in life, maybe early age that when I was younger, I was pretty slim. So people call names, me like when I was 17, 18, like you can see all my friends, all the boys getting like an adult body kind of thing. And I was still like super skinny and slim. And people call you names. But somehow I started to find that that was not a big deal. I mean, sometimes it get into my head, but it was not a big deal. And one of the things that now I'm being an adult, things that helped me is that I was from early age, around 13, 14, doing martial arts, right? So they give you a different stuff. It's not for everyone, martial arts, but it gives you a different perspective of things. And what bothers me is that this anxiety word, I hear it in a lot of young people, like 15 years old, early 20s, and so it's everywhere. And I don't know if people are is adopting this as a like an identity instead of a condition that some people are, they actually have anxiety problems, and it's a real thing in most of the cases that I see now. I don't think it is. I think it's just life is it's not easy, right? And people try to make uh, how do you say? People try to make find meaning of your life too early. Let me tell you about it. If you want to really see what is the meaning of life, I don't think you're going to find it quick enough. Don't start thinking too early. When I was younger, I don't even remember. When I was in my 15, I don't remember if I had the word uh, anxiety on my vocabulary. That was it's a very complicated word. I was like, I don't know, worry or insecure or feeling annoyed. I don't know. And I mean, let's start from accepting that teenage years are chaos. They're complicated. You have pressure from everywhere. You're changing environments pretty fast. From primary school to secondary school to university, and then you have to deal with embarrassment of doing new things or talking to people and say stupid stuff or just like body wise you feel insecure and the hormones, right? The social stress. I mean, I don't deny it. It's you get pushed through a lot of things, but I guess I mean at the end I was fine. I didn't call it anxiety. I just move along, and I guess what helped me a lot was the martial arts part, right? Because the martial arts make you grow in a hard environment with some sort of uh, structure and responsibility that you have to go and train. And if you want a black belt or you want to improve into something, you need to you need to suck it up and put effort on it. And not every day will be good, like in any sports. But yeah, I mean, maybe in these days, uh, people are not engaging into complicated stuff. They're not in hardening environments. They have mm, way less responsibilities from early age. On top of that, you have social media and easy to to see the world from a fake lens, if you know what I mean. Also, less physical activity, I think, since there is a lot of computers and life is easier now. We work more in offices and air conditioning. Yeah, more comfort, less discomfort. And that's what martial arts came in, or if you take seriously a lot of sports. I mean, let me maybe I should say uh, I don't think young generations are weaker, but way less trained and way less. Uh, they didn't go to the hardships and eating shit of not even my generation, but even my mom's generation. I mean, these guys. So why I think kids and teenagers or even older people should engage into martial arts. Well, you can control how exposed you are to certain stress. You be in uncomfortable places often, and that's build you some character. Also, it will make you respect structure and hierarchy. That's not a bad thing actually to grow in this world where some people are in power and some people are not. And the faster you accept this, the better. Of course, just because some people are in power doesn't mean that they know what they're doing or that you shouldn't be in power eventually. But that's how it is, right? Martial arts, if you have a good coach, it gives you some sort of idea of how progress things. For example, you start with a white belt, and in the long run, eventually, maybe you become a black belt. Maybe if you put another effort. And then also it brings some identity. You're part of a club, you're part of a group of people who do the same stuff, and you feel that you own something, that you're part of something important, right? Maybe in my experience, in my 16, 17, 18, that I think was my best years, my early 20s, I felt part of something. I was into training, I was into competing, I was helping the dojo as well, I was start coaching as well. I was doing a lot of things. So my life was basically going to school and then going to karate training. I don't remember anything in the middle. I mean, of course, weekends you try to do what teenagers do, even stupid stuff, but was pretty cool. And on top of that, my coach became some sort of father figure, not just for me, but for many. So that's a good thing also. Some people need some guidance. And little by little, you build confidence. It just comes to you. It's not that one day you say, "Oh, I feel confident now." It's just little by little it comes, and things that bothers you before they don't bother you anymore. Like when I said things like, I grew up, I was pretty slim, so people call you names. My friends start to put you names because when you become more like a young adult, 18 or 20, like all your friends are having like a almost adult body, and I was still like super skinny. I remember telling stories to my friends that even when I was in uni, about 25 years old or so, I see pictures of myself and I can easily say that, I mean, dude, this guy looked 19, right? 19 years old, and I was 20 something. Well, and also that doesn't help with the dating scene, right? Because girls on those ages, they want to be a man, not a kid. But anyway, that was not a big problem for me, to be honest. I managed to cope up, you know, as you should, as you should. Not saying, not calling anxiety, calling as it is. You're growing. You are facing difficulties. You are finding yourself. You are learning how to navigate the world. But it's not easy. I was not thinking I'm anxious. I was just thinking, I was just having a lot of emotions. The word anxiety was not there yet. Actually, kind of to close this anxiety thing, sometimes I expect, or we all expect people to put effort instead of putting excuses. That, I mean, I'm not saying that some of the people they might have anxiety, but again, as I say, there's so many young people at that age that using that complicated word, that I just think you just have to put effort and go through the life like all of us went. Uh, I mean, I'm just simplifying things again. Don't quote me on the quote me on this because I'm not a therapist, but just put some effort. I mean, put your shit together, right? And don't cry all the time that everyone has a better life than mine. Then maybe I can give a couple of tips on how to how do I say how to go through your day, through your months and years, while you become from a young adult to an adult, when even you have a job and you understand what you're doing. Because let me tell you, if you think you're looking for answers when you're 15, you're looking like who you are and what to do in the world. Let me tell you, I'm 45 and sometimes I'm struggle with that as well. If I can give you a takeaway of some tips that I think might help you, is like move your body daily, like do sports, find a exercise, find your tribe, like a karate school, like a CrossFit, a yoga studio, if that's what makes you feel happy, a spinning studio, or just be a gym bro, make real muscles. I think that will help you, just walking, running, maybe walking not so much. I mean, if you are 78 years old like my mother, maybe walking is a thing. But if you are 20, don't be slacker. Go for real exercise. Walking is just a need of human being. Then also you can try to engage doing difficult stuff, like on purpose. Like maybe you try to pick how to play piano. If you pick a sport like martial arts or CrossFit or Olympic weightlifting or some other complicated stuff, I mean, you already have it. You kill two birds with one stone, unless you are Chuck Norris. That Chuck Norris can kill two stones with one bird. But that's a different story. Maybe reduce your phone usage. Your social media. It's not that you don't have to do it anymore. What I do is like when I wake up in the mornings, I wake up at 5:30 to go to the gym. I don't check on my messages. I don't check on my social media. I don't check on my TikTok. I don't try to get into anything like that. Maybe I just wake up, I drink some water, I start to wake up, and 30, 45 minutes later, I'm leaving my house. Maybe by the time that I'm reaching the gym, maybe sometimes I get into TikTok or something because sometimes I need to prepare a class for CrossFit or for karate, so I want to do some tips about exercising. So sometimes I take it from there, but I try to avoid any screen time before. I mean, 1 to 2 hours after waking up. I mean, sometimes I play some music, but not real like screen time. I mean, try to build a skill. I mean, you need to be good at something. Not all of us will be good at playing piano or at martial arts or any other stuff, but just try to build skill. Maybe try to start painting, or maybe try to get some craft. Build something. Start by building your own stuff. Maybe you have money, you build some Legos, or there's so many things that you can do. Try to learn how to fix cars, get into plumbing, because if you think that AI jobs are going to be taken, well, let me tell you, until they get a very good robot that they can fix your pipes and fix your car and do the lining on your house and build concrete walls and shit. I mean, those things, they're still going to be made by humans so far. I mean, the heavy lifting, of course, machines, but other stuff, yeah, man, build some skills. It will bring you some meaning to your life. Yeah, trust me on this one. Oh, and I forgot to mention anything about parenting. Well, what can I say about this? Well, as I say in one of my short videos that I put there, when people complain or not complain, they just mention, they say, oh man, it's so hard to be a parent. Well, let me tell you a few things about that as the non expert that I am. First of all, being a parent is somehow a choice. If you understand about biology, you know what I mean. But first of all, it's a choice. Then, if you find yourself having kids, being a parent It's not the difficult stuff. Being a good parent, being a good mom and a good dad, that's where the hard job comes, right? That's exactly where things come hard. Being just a parent, well, what do you have to do? I mean, there is a minimum stuff. I would dare to say that some people don't even do the minimum. Shout out to my mother. She was the best mom in the world. She is the best mom in the world. You cannot prove me wrong. If you were a parent, try to be a good one. In my case, I don't have kids of my own, biologically speaking, but I have two girls that very gladly I accept when, with my girlfriend now. I mean, I cannot ask much. I understand the mechanics or the interaction that we might have. So for now, uh, something that it helps, and I just wish that me uh, giving the best example, they will able to see what a good dad should look like. You know what I mean? Because the way I see it, of course, um, they have had her mother since young age or the whole time on their short life. So they just know mother. There's no like actual, if I dare to say, there's no like actual reliable man father figure on their life. So when this guy comes, the the son of my mother comes, what they can expect? Nothing, right? They don't. It doesn't feel natural. So little by little, I will try to get into that. But I think the least you can do is try to be a good example. Like you don't know what you don't know, right? And if, for example, in this case, if they never saw what a good dad is, they will never know. But if they see on me like good examples, like you do the right things in any aspect of life, how I treat their mother, the things that you do at home, how you approach work, how you approach life, how do you talk to them, how do you make fun of things, the things that you do, the things that you talk, how you move, how you dress, the things that you say to the grandmother, how you talk to them. All these things they will see it as an example. So hopefully when the time comes for them to choose their partner, let's say a boyfriend or a husband, maybe they know what to look at them, right? I'm not perfect, of course, but that's my parenting 101 from today. I know it's not much. Maybe it doesn't make sense for you guys, but I'm learning uh, how to express myself better with this channel. It was 2 weeks from last time we see each other. My three followers that watch my video, thank you. But what's good? What's good? It has been a long time since I started doing podcasts, but I never took it seriously. Maybe this time I will. I have plans, 2 or 3 people on the podcast that we can have a conversation, so it's more fluid. It's not just me talking. Should be fun. Anyway, stay strong, stay positive. Try to find some discomfort in your life, and things will come around. More if you're young. And sometimes when you see people like me, that we have the willing of being a positive figure in your life, like a parent. Sometimes maybe it would be nice if you can pay attention to us a little bit, because, for example, you as a young person, if you feel weird and you think that you don't know how to do things, you have to see on the other side. Also, me as a new dad, uh, sometimes I don't know how to approach you guys, but the love is there, and I'm sure it's going to come around. Peace.